Guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Two Honks podcast, the only podcast on the internet. My name is Joe Little. Sitting across from me in my backyard is Lamar Costin.
Yo.
How are we today? It's sunny.
It's sunny and it is a great day to do yard work.
Yeah.
And people that do that, God bless them. God's children,
Yeah.
I say.
I was even thinking about just giving it a second, you know. People they might want to hear this. They might enjoy the sound of landscaping equipment being used. Maybe.
Right. This is the sound of nature. I mean, this is the sound of mankind in nature.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, maybe this could be something that maybe is attached to a positive memory from childhood. Maybe your dad was running the lawnmower one day and then he gave you a hug.
You might have been conceived while he was mowing the lawn.
While he was mowing the lawn. It could be a good memory for you. So, you know.
The smell of fresh cut grass.
I don't want to stifle anybody. I don't want to not let them enjoy the sound of landscaping equipment if they feel that way about it.
Right. It's like the daffodils are laughing, you know. It's like it just feels so good. Yeah. You know, and I love that we're just chopping it all down with our blades. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part, is just the chopping down of nature.
The chopping down of it, yes.
And
yes. Yeah, you know, I mean, one thing that's great is things become overgrown. And we are the ones who get to decide when it's overgrown.
We get to destroy it as well.
We're in control of that.
Yeah.
Because we're great.
I was thinking the other day about how, like, in my mind, I've created this separation between what I think is, like, natural and what's not. Like humans are, maybe you could say they're natural because we're organic, right?
We naturally occurred.
It's natural.
It's natural to be here.
But then I think of, like,
is it not natural that I exist? You know?
But then you have cities and, like, you know, chopping down of rainforests and whatnot, and like and to me that's maybe not natural.
That's not natural, but then that might be natural.
But is it?
Is it natural?
I think it might still be. Like, we're still part of nature, even though we're dominating it and destroying it.
Yeah.
Right? That's nature itself.
Yeah, you're changing nature because you're part of nature.
Right.
You know?
That's natural.
Yeah.
It's organic.
You know what's interesting? It's like when you're in a city and people say, you know, don't litter.
Yeah.
Don't litter in the city. And it's like, well, isn't the city kind of a big piece of litter?
Isn't it a big piece of shit?
Yeah, isn't it just...
Isn't that the whole city?
And we're all just flies, just glomming onto this giant piece of shit that we've created that everybody loves for some reason.
Right. Well, and there's also, like, the home free people that live in my neighborhood on the street, they poop, like, on the sidewalk, and sometimes I have to walk over it, but that doesn't bother me because
that's normal. That's natural.
Well, that's natural, and there are dog poops right in the same area. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
What's the difference between one butt versus a different butt? We talked about how butts change.
Yeah.
Are they different? I don't think they are.
I don't think they are. I think it doesn't matter what species you are. Everybody has a butt.
Everybody
even
poops.
Species. You know, I was even reading my child a bedtime book the other day.
Yeah.
And this bedtime book had animations of dogs in it.
Huh.
And these are, you know, drawn dogs in a children's book, right?
Right.
And they still put the buttholes on the dogs.
Because it would be unnatural.
They still drew the buttholes.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, it's like they might think this is a kid's book, we don't need to draw buttholes. They clearly didn't think that way. They said, you know what, every species has a butt, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's good that they put buttholes in my children's book.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at a dog that has no butthole, you're going to... Something's going to feel wrong away.
Yeah, something's going to feel wrong.
Even I don't know what it is,
even the children are going to notice that, hey, that dog doesn't have a butthole.
You point right at where it should be.
I'm sure my 3-year-old son would look at that animation and say, hey, Dad, did you notice that this dog doesn't have a butthole?
Yeah.
Because that's how 3-year-olds think.
I watched this whole movie, and the whole time I was just thinking, like, where's the butthole? Like, how is this thing... Is it going to explode? Like, what happens? You know? It's distracting, is what it is.
It's distracting, yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, if you don't put buttholes in books, what are we supposed to do?
I don't want to live in a world where, where there's no buttholes in books.
We just can't. What, are we not allowed to talk about it?
Are we not allowed to talk about it?
Are we not allowed to be natural with and have buttholes?
Right.
Yeah.
I think at that point, that's when we would stop ceasing to be part of nature.
Yeah.
Because humans come out of nature, we're part of it.
Yeah.
Mother Earth and all that. But if Mother Earth starts pooping people out without buttholes, you might want to ask yourself, are you natural anymore?
Yeah. Then you're not natural.
Then you're not. Now your butt has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's not a butt anymore.
It's kind of like a butt is a good measurement for what's natural. And nobody wants to talk about this. Why is nobody talking about this?
You can measure a man by his butt.
You can't measure. Yeah. You think you can?
Yeah.
You think you can measure a man by his butt?
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can measure the natural state of the butt.
Yeah.
In the wild. In nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think animals in nature care what day of the week it is?
Do they?
Do they ever wake up and say, hey, it's Tuesday, I'm going to run down to the river and wash my paws or whatever I do on Tuesday?
Rinse my paws.
Do you think animals think about that stuff?
I bet some of them do.
They might have a certain day of the week they do something.
Yeah.
We might not be too much different,
Do they have a hump day?
They probably do.
It's like, oh, we made it.
One time I was in the woods and I saw a couple of animals on hump day.
Did you?
They were having a pretty good time.
Really?
Yeah.
So it just happened to be
It just happened to be there.
And their hump day might be different than other hump days.
Yeah, they probably have a different hump day. I bet there's like on a Sunday or something.
Right.
When it makes kind of more sense to have a hump day.
It's not the time scale that we've conditioned for humans is kind of like it just applies for us.
Yeah. Why not? Why don't we give the cheetahs a call? Hey, cheetahs.
Yeah.
What's your hump day?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Is it weekend?
Is no one in nature observing these animals?
I would hope that animals in nature have longer weekends. If they do have,
They probably have a 4-day weekend.
But they're doing like the European thing, like at least 3 days off kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. 3 or 4 days.
20 work, hours.
Yeah, sipping margaritas down at the watering hole with the water buffaloes.
Just a bunch of desperados running around.
Touching each other's dicks.
Just at various clubs.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to circle back to butts real quick. And, I was thinking about the word diarrhea.
Yeah.
Because it's just an odd word. It's kind of a fun word.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to spell it. You know what I mean? Like
there's an H in it, isn't there?
There's somebody.
I don't know where the H goes, but there is an H in that word.
It's like diarrhearama is similar, and I think that one doesn't have an H.
Well, why did they? Diarrhearama.
You know what
I mean? Which word came first? Well, that's what I want to know. Diarrhea or diorama?
Right.
Because somebody was joking. Someone was playing a joke there,
Right.
Somebody was like, oh, hey, I made a small box with a display of what it was like in old Western times. What would you call this thing? Just sum it up with one word. Oh, I'm going to call it a diorama. Like, that doesn't really...
More like a diarrhea.
Yeah.
Somebody just pooped in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What if you diarrhea in a box and make a little display out of it? Does it then become a diorama?
Diarrhearama.
Diarrhearama.
Maria Rodolama.
Diarrhea Rotorama.
Diarrhea Marodolama.
Marodolama. With the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. I mean, diarrhea is so hard to spell it, but it's easy to smell.
Yeah.
Everybody can smell it.
Yeah,
you can't spell it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Isn't that odd?
You can smell it, but you can't spell it.
I'm a good speller, and I get tripped up on that word.
Yeah. Well, why don't we give it a shot? Let's give it a shot right now. How do you spell it? It's like D-I-A-H.
You think the H is there? I think it might be later.
You think it might be later?
I want to say it's later.
D-I-A-H-R-E-A. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Is that it?
That's a different condition.
Well, okay, what do you think it is then?
I think it's D-I-A-R R-H-E-A.
D-I-A-R-R-H-E-A?
That's my final answer.
I think you're right. I think you might be
correct.
Does
that sound right?
Actually,
Is that too many R's?
That sounds right to me. I think there's 2 R's and an H.
I think
that's what makes it a tricky word.
Right.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
I was Googling the word.
I mean, I'd Google it, but that would make the conversation less interesting.
I looked it up pre-pro like a week ago when I came up with this idea, and there were a lot of colorful spellings of that word that people use. that are wrong. You know, they're stupid idiots basically because they're wrong.
Did you go on like a diarrhea forum?
I went on the diarrhea exploration. Yeah.
Is it kind of like that one guy that went on the internet and found all the forums about pregnancy?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Found all the ones that.
Yeah. I did some diarrhea research.
Yeah, you did some diarrhea research.
You know.
You know what you should do? You should make a diorama. You could make a diarrhearama.
A diarrhearama.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Print it, put it on a T-shirt, sell it.
Put it on a yeah.
Yeah.
I could do it.
So I've been talking to some people lately.
Yeah.
And it's been a popular request on the podcast, and people are actually asking that we bring back the tank clips.
Really?
They've been asking. That's
well,
it's our friend of show, John. He requested that tank clips come back.
John was very excited when we met him at the Brian Jonestown Massacre concert.
Yeah.
He wouldn't shut up about the tank clips.
Yeah,
he's like, it
wanted
sounds
more tank clips.
I want to wear them, and summer's coming up. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a great time to wear them. But you know that ongoing legal case.
Yeah,
it's kind of like we'd have to talk with our lawyers.
Yeah,
and see
it puts us in a fuzzy spot with it. We'd like to bring him back
area.
too.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we'd like to bring him back too.
I mean, it's a great idea.
Well, and I also talked to my wife about it. I told her that John brought that up, and she said, "Well, that's the best idea you guys have ever had."
Right, that was our peak.
That was the peak of the show. That's the best it's ever going to be. So I mean, maybe we should bring it back because that's literally all we have.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever thought about that, Lamar?
I mean, now I am.
Have you literally ever thought about how that's the only thing we have
That's
anymore?
the only thing. We should probably just squeeze it to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only joke we've ever made that was good.
Right.
That's the only thing we've ever said that was funny.
Yeah, that was way back when we were really funny.
Do you ever think that maybe you've just already peaked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a pretty strong suspicion about that since I was like 12 years old.
Yeah, same here.
I'm like, you know what? I think I
peaked at about 11.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, whoops.
I was like, I think I'm good here.
Yeah.
I remember a day.
Doing a good job.
In school, I think it must have been like 6th grade or something like that.
Did you ever wish you had a different name as a child than what your parents named you?
Yeah.
What do you remember? Do you remember what name it was that you wished you had?
I don't think I had one picked out that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I do remember I ran a mile in 6th grade, and it was like 6 minutes and 42 seconds or something like that. It was a good mile for me as a small child.
That's a quick mile for a child.
And I finished the race, and I remember I was on the bus on the way home, and I had a moment where I looked out the window at the passing trees and just kind of had this moment of clarity.
Yeah.
And I sighed, and I just said to myself, to nobody around me really, just to myself, I said, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
You're done.
I called it. I was like, that's it. You know, and then life continued, and it wasn't over.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why is this still dragging on and on and on?
It's still going.
And you know what? My mile run has gotten so much longer now.
Yeah.
When I ran it, even a year later, it was like 7 minutes something.
Yeah.
So that was my peak, you know?
Yeah.
And I had short legs back then, too. There's really no excuse for it.
Yeah. You know, I think I ran a 6:42 in high school.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure that's what my fastest ever mile was.
That was probably it.
See, and nowadays, when I try to run, it hurts my ankles.
Right.
I probably couldn't even run a 20-minute mile if you asked me to.
It starts with your ankles, and then it's your knees, and then it's your hips.
Yeah.
Right, and then they all just kind of break.
Well, the ankles just hurt really bad, like almost immediately when I start to try to run. That's the part that...
You kind of want to just chop them off.
Yeah.
If something gives you trouble, it's like when your grass is growing too tall, you just chop off the top of it.
Yeah.
Why can't we just do that with our bodies?
Yeah.
It's like if something hurts, just remove it.
Yeah, just remove. Yeah, if I didn't have ankles that I had to run on, like if I had prosthetics,
right?
Like if I had to have prosthetic feet, I'd probably be a better runner.
Well, you could put wheels in there.
You know, everybody's out there putting these Paralympians on some kind of pedestal, like they're great.
Right.
But the thing is, it probably made them better.
Yeah.
Probably made them better at running.
Well,
that's what
feet,
I think.
I mean, feet are really inferior to wheels. If we had wheels for feet.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And I don't mean anything disrespectful to Paralympians. I'm just saying, come on, anybody can do it.
Come on.
Get over yourself, you know? Nothing bad.
Right, nothing like, come on.
I don't think there's anything bad about you existing. I'm just saying, come on, give it up already. Stop with the commercials on television. Jeez.
I was thinking about the expression when life gives you lemons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? make lemonade. But then, like, why do you think that that lemons are only used to describe cars?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you never get, like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. You get you drop your
life
iPhone
gives you
or whatever,
lemons,
it's
but
like,
that
oh.
lemon is a Ford Pinto. You're not driving very far in it.
Right.
You know? I mean, we haven't really discussed this much lately on the podcast, but we're car guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're big on cars.
We're big old car guys.
Yeah, big car guys.
We don't want to alienate people who don't know all the jargon and lingo and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to just, like, reduce our listener base because of all the car stuff that we talk about all the time.
Jargon.
Like, if we had the microphones on when we weren't recording a podcast, that's what we'd be talking about.
Pretty much it. That's pretty much all we talk about.
Talking about cars,
sports and cars.
So you say life gives you lemons to a couple of tough greaser guys like us.
Yeah.
With our cars,
monkey greasers.
Yeah. You don't even. That statement's not even going to make sense. Life gives you lemons. Well, life just gave me a bunch of shitty cars. That sounds like crap.
Yeah.
You know?
Can't compost those, you know?
Yeah.
I've tried. It doesn't work as well.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, if something great happens in this world and nobody ever says, wow, this is a real lemon, you know?
Yeah.
Like meaning a good thing. And
right.
Because it doesn't mean something good, you know?
But lemons can be good, is that right? They can be good for you?
They can be good for you, but they're very sour, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Only time I really ever have lemons is when you squeeze them on, like, salmon.
Right.
You know? With a salad.
What do you put limes in other than, like... Don't people put limes in, like, beers?
Yeah, they put limes in beers.
Are they good for anything else?
Limes for tacos. Street tacos.
Oh, okay.
You know? If you got a pico de gallo on there, you might want to squeeze a lime. Just
right.
You know, give yourself a little zest. Is that what they call it? Zest?
That's living, right?
Yeah.
No, that's living.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean, it adds zest, but what is zest? That's a whole other conversation.
You could zest for life.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
You could zest?
Is zest like yearning? Can you yearn for zest?
Is zest kind of like lust?
Zest?
Zest?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
Zeal? What about zeal?
What about zeal and zest?
Zeal?
Zeal?
Do you ever zest your zeal?
I
had fried zeal one time.
Fried zeal.
Zested it.
You know, they say they don't know how zeals reproduce.
Yeah.
All they know is that zeals just go to the Bermuda Triangle. And then more zeals come out.
Is that right?
Yeah, they'll see like 20 zeals go in, 40 zeals come out. That's what happens at the Bermuda Triangle.
What's the difference between a zeal and a zeal lion?
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
A zeal and a zeal lion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zest for zeal?
Zest for zeals.
I think if you're zealous.
Yeah.
Right? That's like...
What if you zealous? Like, okay, so jealous and zealous. So zealous is
But if you're zealous, don't you have so much zeal that you're zesting for life? Isn't that what that means?
Yeah, I mean, if
you're full of zest.
Yeah, if you're zealous, you might you could be full of zest, but I don't think zest is an important part of being zealous.
Really?
Of being zealous, you know? Because you can be zest, and you can have zest,
right,
and not be zealous. But you can also be zealous and not have zest.
Well, everybody says,
you know,
the only time you ever hear the word zealous is when people talk about being overzealous.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever just the right amount of zealous. Like, he's describing your friend. Oh, he's the perfect amount of zealous. He has the perfect amount of zeal.
He's the most zealous guy I've ever met.
He's full of zest.
I love his zest for life. I'm glad he's so zealous.
Not overly zealous, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nobody ever complained about anybody being under-zealous, too.
Right.
He's not zealous enough. I wish he was more zealous about life.
Yeah.
I wish he had more zest for his zealousy.
Right. Where's your zest for zealousy?
Where's your zest for zealousy?
Zealousy.
Is zest like lust?
Is it?
Is lust and zest, is that kind of the same? Can you be lustful and have zest about it?
I bet you can zest for lust.
Yeah.
I think zest is like...
What if you... Okay, so what if you have lust in a non-zesty way? Is it still lust? Is it real lust? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Breaks my brain.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zest.
There
you have it.
Yeah, there you have it. That was, that one got deep fast.
Yeah, I think
we try not to get too serious on this podcast, but sometimes it really gets there.
That one got short-circuited my brain. I think somehow.
Well, and I think that's a good leeway.
That's a good thing.
We can change it up. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And that's good.
See, so we've been on hiatus for a while here.
Yeah, we took a little break. Sounds like somebody's got a chainsaw behind us here.
Sounds like a lawnmower, really. Well, again, bringing back those good memories of childhood.
It's a good thing that this is happening.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Remember that time your dad ran a lawnmower and then he gave you a hug? Well, that's what this moment is for, okay? Well, anyway, so we've been at the coast.
Right.
We've been fighting the tides.
Yeah, well, so we should explain that we've been absent from the podcast for a few weeks.
We're doing good work, though.
It's hard work, and it's something that a lot of people are kind of seem to be ignoring right now. That the tides are
advancing.
They're advancing on us.
They have been advancing for quite some time.
They've been encroaching and approaching and making more progress on the shores and kind of like being very hostile.
Yeah.
So we went down there and we've been fighting the tides. We've been taking turns.
Yeah.
Fighting the tides.
Taking turns because you can't fight the tides 24 hours a day by yourself. You know, you're going to need some rest in there. So we've been going in about 20-hour shifts.
Yeah, they're pretty relentless. The tides, they come and then they kind of pretend to go back and then they come back again.
But yeah, and I mean, it's hard work. We actually, we're very happy with the work that we've done because now the tides have receded.
Yeah, we did win. We won this one
the other way.
A little touch and go there for a second, but you know, they do seem like they've turned. The tides have turned a little bit.
The tides have turned, and that's because we fought the tides.
Right.
You know? We'll continue to talk about it because it doesn't seem like anybody's allowed to talk about this, right?
A lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Why is no one talking about this?
I think people kind of assume that the tides are like something you can't really like fight with your fists, and we've proved that that's wrong.
You definitely can.
If you uppercut,
the tides are a physical thing.
Yeah.
And you're a physical thing. So use your physical things to go fight the tides. I wish more people would fight the tides.
The thing about fighting a tide is that you need to know how to use its energy against itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Aikido.
Yeah.
So as it comes towards you, it kind of has that curve the way tides do. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of have to use that energy and whip it back at itself.
And we've been, studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well because we're very unique and we have really unique ideas.
Right.
And no one seems to be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's just not popular.
Right.
No one's doing it. No one's talking about how they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Especially not on the tides.
So that's why we decided to do it. Because we're original and we have really original thoughts.
We are sharing this with the world right now for the first time. And a lot of people have used traditional warfare against the tides, and that hasn't worked. You can't use a machine gun on water.
4 words maybe. Mm-hmm. Aikido, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. That's what you need.
That's a number of words.
That's how you fight the tide.
Yeah.
That's how you fight the tides.
An unknown number of words you just said. That is how we succeeded in turning the tides. But the thing about the tides is that they will come back.
They will.
They got scared or whatever, and they receded, but they will be back. And so
they only leave for short periods of time.
Yeah.
So we don't know when we're going to have to take another hiatus to go fight the tides.
Right.
But it may happen at any given moment, it could happen tomorrow.
The tides will turn again, and that's one thing that history has taught us again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
The tides will continue to turn and turn and turn and turn and turn again.
Yeah.
And we'll turn our fists back towards it every time.
Yeah. Whether we exist or not, those tides are going to turn. That's why we need to... That's why we're responsible for training the next generation, and that's why we talk about it. That's why it's important to talk about it.
It's important.
That's why more people should talk about it.
Yeah.
That's why more people should do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Aikido.
Right.
And a keto diet.
Right. It's all about keto.
Keto and Aikido.
Ketos.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Eating Cheetos.
It's all about eating Cheetos with the seagulls out there. And if you get the seagulls on Cheetos, you know they're going to be on your side. Yeah. Also, you can use them. They can flap in a way that kind of uses the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And it will ripple back across the ocean and come back and slap the tide in the face.
Yeah.
And that's the most sensitive part of the tide.
Yeah.
A lot of people
every time we go to the fight the tides, we bring a lot of Cheetos too. Cheetos to the seagulls.
Right.
Seagulls take the Cheetos, and the seagulls help us fight the tides.
Right.
And that's how the tides back off. You need the seagulls.
It's a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, it's a multi-pronged approach. We really need to put together a book about this.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing.
Multiple Pringles.
Yeah.
Pringle prong.
Yeah.
We should try Pringles next time.
Pringles.
Bring Pringles and Cheetos.
You think Pringles might be stronger?
It's a multi-Pringled approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing. You don't know.
Yeah.
You kind of have to just experiment.
You don't want to be the jackass just going down there with one Pringle, hoping they're going to get the Cheetos to fight the seagulls.
Right.
And
you don't want to piss off the seagulls if they're expecting Cheetos and then they get Pringles and it's like, oh, I don't like salt and vinegar.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got a bunch of Cheetos littered the beach and they're just sitting there. It's like, hey, who's the asshole who just dumped a whole can of Pringles here?
No one wants that.
You make a bong out of the can.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well salvage what you can here.
You could.
You might as well do it because, the birds will like it. The birds appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we were watching a little race when I showed up here today.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about people racing, like, when you're in traffic and somebody like looks over at you and they like start revving their engine at a light or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just thinking about how stupid those people are. And I just want to talk about how dumb they are so that I can feel better about myself for a second.
Okay.
It's like, you ever see two people that are racing each other that are in like wildly different cars?
Yeah.
Like one's like a muscle car or whatever, and the other one's like, like a Honda Fit or whatever.
I think that's the only racing situation that happens because one car has something to prove.
Right. It's like, look at my car.
And then the other car also has something to prove, but it's not the physical car. It's the guy inside that has something to prove.
Right. But then, the muscle car wins because it has more torque or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's like, oh, my car's faster than your car. Yeah. It's like, well, that's like, has nothing to do with you really at all.
Yeah. Did you really win anything?
Did you build that car?
Yeah. Or did you just buy something?
Yeah. Because if I bought a car that was faster, then I would win the race.
Yeah.
Well,
and I mean, I think this brings us to a serious point right here, and I think we've discussed this a few times on the podcast, and that's that money does make you happy. Buying things produces dopamine in your brain. And dopamine is what makes you happy, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
That's why you should buy a lot of things.
When your brain feels good, that's good.
That's a good thing.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Exactly. So, I mean, buy things.
So you're
even
saying,
if you're not going to use them. This is why we advocate throwing stuff in the river.
Yeah, because you can't. There's only so much stuff you can carry around.
It also helps with the tides advancing on us.
The trash forms a blockade against the tide.
Exactly. It keeps the tides from coming up to us. You know?
The tide can only handle so much garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's a lot of stuff.
The tides might permanently recede if we throw enough trash in there.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like the beavers that build dams.
Yeah.
We could be like beavers.
We can build a beaver dam of trash. That's what we can do.
Yeah, we could take after the beavers and just throw all of our cars and such into the river.
We can learn from nature. This is why I'm saying that we really need to figure out if animals have a day of the week.
Right.
Maybe they have a different hump day than we do.
Because that could change it.
We could learn from them,
Yeah. We bring them onto our side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you a backpack guy or a book bag man? Something I was thinking about.
Backpack guy? I think I'm a backpack guy.
You're a backpack?
I used to be a book bag man.
Did you?
Back in the day. 2008, 2009.
Really? You switched?
I was a book bag man.
You started out as a book bag man.
It was cool to have a book bag. You were the... You
okay.
only have the one strap.
Oh, you're talking about a different sachet of sorts.
Well, yeah, the book bag. It has a backpack has two straps. Goes over both your shoulders.
Well, now we're getting philosophical again because when I was growing up,
the book bag that has one strap.
That's like a courier bag.
Yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, don't
couriers use backpacks?
I
thought it was more common to see a courier.
Let's get down to brass tacks here because when I was growing up on the East Coast, right, in the Northeast.
I do hear they do it different over there.
It was a little different. We called everything backpacks. The two straps.
Yeah.
We carried my books in. I call it a backpack.
Yeah.
I was a backpack man.
Yeah.
But as soon as I moved a couple states down to North Carolina,
yeah,
they called all the same exact bags, book bags.
They called them book bags.
It was all book bags, and I was like, "You guys are dumb. You're idiots."
Yeah, because I always thought a book bag, one strap, backpack, two straps.
Well, that makes more sense than.
That's what I thought.
That makes way more sense than.
That's how they do it on the West Coast.
Right.
I don't know how they do it on the East Coast.
Well, I never really understood it. I always just assumed it was like, you pick the one you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I don't get along with book bag people.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like them at all. I don't want to say I hate them, but I wouldn't mind if they weren't alive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that actually kind of makes sense about this conversation I had this weekend, because we were down there. I was down there fighting the tides.
Right.
And this woman came up to me, and she was from New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
And they always say, how do you know somebody's from New Hampshire? Well, they'll tell you. They'll tell you that they're from New Hampshire.
That's the first thing they say, yeah.
And I'm just down there busting my ass, I'm fighting the tides.
Right.
With my fists.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman just comes up out of nowhere and has to tell me she's from New Hampshire.
She just starts telling you that.
And she had a book bag, but it was clearly a backpack. And she said, "What do you think of my book bag?" I said, "Well, that's a backpack. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go fight the tides now."
What a meaningless distraction.
Yeah, it was a meaningless discussion, but this woman just really had to let me know.
Yeah.
She was from New Hampshire, and that was called a book bag.
She's wrong on so many levels.
Now I'm glad we've had this discussion, because now I understand that discussion.
Now you know why she's so dumb.
Yeah, now I know why that happened.
Yeah. Because, she should have been helping you, first of all.
First of all, if somebody's fighting the tides, come on, get in there.
Put down your backpack and
give me a few minutes of help here,
Get your fists wet,
You don't even have to make it a whole thing.
You just dip your fists in the water for a second.
Put your fists in
there, make it look like you fought the tide.
Yeah.
At least for posterity's sake.
Give me a moment here,
Get your fists wet.
Give me a moment.
At least you could shake them off and be like, oof.
Let me go have a sip of water real quick. How about you take a few punches for me?
Yeah.
That way I can jump back in and fight the tides even better.
Throw a couple jabs, give you a break.
Don't just come down here and tell me you're from New Hampshire.
And you got a book bag?
And you got a book bag?
You got a book bag?
But it's clearly a backpack.
What are you, an idiot?
Book bags have one strap.
Yeah.
Moron.
Do you even have any books in there?
Yeah.
You're going to call it that, and you just have a backpack full of Pringles.
Yeah. Well, and we're not counting notebooks. Notebooks aren't books.
If you're a journal person and you're keeping diaries about the sun or whatever, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. You got to have actual books in there.
It has to be books,
and I feel
heavy books.
At least one of them has to be a textbook. One of them has to be for
4 or
educational
5 pounds a piece.
Purpose.
Got to be encyclopedias.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about you're carrying a.
Don't just carry a Henry Miller book and tell me you're with your book bag. It's like, no, that's philosophy. Let's put something educational in there, huh?
Right.
Where's your math book? How about you put that in your book bag and smoke
math
it?
Books?
Huh?
Yeah, put that in your book bag.
Yeah.
Come on. Was that a trigonometry book?
Yeah, what is that?
Come on. What was that, $700?
Yeah.
What they cost now for those things?
Put that in your book bag and smoke it.
Yeah. Put that in the tides.
Yeah.
You could use that book as a weapon against the tides.
Yeah.
Tides hate math.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Whip out the book, start slapping it in the face with it. It's easy. Sounds like she doesn't know what she's doing, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she doesn't know what she's doing.
It's stupid.
She's just spinning out, talking to people that are fighting the tides.
Waste my time.
Yeah, wasting my time.
Take a little break?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Get a little pre-pro coffee. And we're back.
All right.
So we got another chainsaw fired up.
Yeah, it's got a weed whacker.
I'm huffing some fumes here.
Yeah.
It's good. I love that.
That's a good thing.
I like being high.
It's a good thing.
That's good for you to huff that. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, fighting the tides. That's what we did. That's what we're going to continue to do because that's what we care about.
Yes.
And we do it for you, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about a word I was thinking about. The word confidence.
Confidence.
Let's just talk about this.
Yeah. Because you're always thinking about words.
I'm thinking of words.
You're a big word guy.
I'm a word person.
You're a word guy. You're into words.
I'm a word
Not
nerd.
only you're a car guy,
Yeah.
you're also a word guy.
Yeah.
You're big on words.
I think about words.
You like big words.
I love words. And I think they're interesting and funny and fun and interesting.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the word confidence because I was reading a book, because I'm a book guy. I like reading books with words in them.
Exactly.
In my backpack.
Books and words.
Put the book in my backpack.
They go hand in hand.
I read books.
That's why you're a big words guy.
And I read them and I carry them around in my backpack.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do with books. You put them in your backpack.
Yeah. But if it has one strap, you're putting it in your book
you put it in book bags are for losers.
Yeah.
So I don't wear book bags because they're for stupid idiots.
Yeah.
But I was reading a book because I like reading books, and there was a word, confidence, right? Confidence. Yeah. I'm used to that word being like, are you a confident person?
Yeah.
Right? Are you speaking with confidence, like getting in front of a crowd? But this word was used differently. It was like this person took the other person aside and spoke to them in confidence, right? Which is a different context.
Meaning kind of, you're confident that they won't tell anybody else what you're telling
I think
them.
it's also like, or maybe it's like you confide in somebody.
Yeah.
That's the root of the word.
Well, and talking in confidence and talking with confidence are two very different things,
Right.
What if you tell somebody in confidence with confidence?
Yeah.
Does that make that person less likely to keep that conversation in confidence?
Double confidence.
Yeah. Because there is a double confidence. So if you say something with confidence that's in confidence, do those two confidences negative each other out? Do they disqualify each other and now you're not telling them in confidence anymore because you're too confident?
Right.
I think that...
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was just, I think we've talked about this many times, but I think that I'm fascinated by words because they're stupid.
Yeah.
And they're dumb. And I just like to think about why that is. You know what I mean? Like, how does words mean so many different things? Like,
yeah.
I'm only really familiar mostly with like speaking in confidence because I'm a confident person, obviously.
Yeah. Extremely confident.
And that's like another word for that.
Your confidence scares me sometimes.
It's pretty unnerving. It's off-putting.
It's unnerving to a lot of people.
It's intimidating.
A lot of people aren't friends with you anymore because of it.
It's only because of that. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Right.
You've lost a lot of friendships.
Because of my confidence.
Because of your confidence.
You're speaking to me in confidence about my confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
A lack of friends.
But it's not really in confidence.
A flocking of friends leaving.
Yeah. Well, because I'm speaking with too much confidence. That's why it's not in confidence anymore.
Right.
Now it's canceling each other out.
And I'm more familiar with the confidence. It's like cocksure, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and what can we talk about that for a second?
Cocksure.
Cocksure.
Why are we putting cock in so many words?
Can you keep your cock out of my words?
Yeah,
please?
now we got a streaming service. It's called Peacock.
Right.
How
many cocks do we really need?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just telling you in the in-between here that there was I saw a celebrity interview on the internet, because that's where I watch celebrity interviews, is on the internet.
Right.
And this guy was being interviewed by Peacock, but his head was covering up the letters P-E-A.
Yeah.
So all you saw right next to his head was the word cock.
Right.
And then it goes back to the hosts of the show, and they didn't say anything about it.
Right.
They just talked about the celebrity or whatever. Nobody said anything about how the word cock was right next to his head. We're just supposed to accept this?
That's okay now?
We're supposed to just let everybody say it whenever they want now?
Yeah.
That's not right.
Is that okay?
That's not good.
I don't think that's good.
That's not a good thing.
Okay.
That's not a good thing.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Can we get a little more weed whacker here? In the, can we dial that up a little bit?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not quite as high as I want to be from the fumes.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get, I'm chasing the dragon a little bit.
I really want the gas can right next to my face.
I would
That's
like to.
really what gives me confidence. That's what gives me confidence.
That's what makes me feel good.
That's a good thing.
That's good.
That's what gives me confidence.
Yeah, when I'm high on fumes, I feel really confident, really cocksure.
Yeah, really cocksure with my confidence.
Confidence. And another one, the word drank. You can't say I drunk a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Because
people are going to say you're a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
But you can say I was really drunk.
Yeah.
Last night. You can't say I was really drank last night.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be drunk in the past
like
tense?
I was really drunk last night and I tried to sober up, so I drank a lot of coffee. Then you're using drunk and drank in the same sentence.
Doesn't even make any sense.
Because
yeah. Why isn't it thunk for think?
Yeah.
Why would you throw a GH in there all of a sudden for thought?
Yeah.
Why?
A thought?
thought.
What is a thought?
I thought that was what the kids say about people.
Yeah.
Over there.
Well, yeah, and where'd that come from?
What's that about?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Is this where is it acronyms? Is everything an acronym?
Yeah.
Is everything that I say an acronym for something else?
Game? Is this just a game now?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
I think it's a big silly game for God. I think God's playing.
Did God set this up?
I think God set this up.
Did he?
I think he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
All I know is that God set this whole thing up, and the government is definitely listening to you.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now.
Well.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.